Mild drama unfolded at the Ojo Magistrates Court, Lagos, on Monday when a woman, Mrs. Chinyere Ejike, stunned the court by insisting her husband, Livinus Ejike, should remain in custody for allegedly assaulting her. The defendant, who was arraigned on February 5th, is facing a 3-count charge of assault, threats, and breach of peace. Despite being granted bail in the sum of 300,000 naira with 2 sureties, Ejike has remained behind bars for failing to meet the bail conditions. On Monday, when the case came up for mention, the defendant was absent from court. The prosecutor explained his absence was due to logistics issues, prompting the magistrate, Mr. Latif Layeni, to ask the complainant if she was willing to forgive him. Chinyere, visibly angry, rejected the idea of reconciliation and told the court to continue holding her husband. He has been wicked to me. He has beaten me many times. He is of no relevance to me, she declared, drawing murmurs in the courtroom. The police alleged that Livinus assaulted his wife on February 3rd at Ilogbo, Ojo, threatening her and their children with a knife. He also reportedly threw her belongings out of their home, causing panic in the neighborhood. The prosecution said the act contravenes Section 58, 166, and 172 of the Lagos State Criminal Law 2015. The court adjourned the case to May 19th for further mention, with the defendant still in custody. His wife has remained firm in her stance, unwilling to withdraw the case or forgive him. We're back on domestic violence, but then again, before I gather your thoughts on this report, what do you think would make a man assault his wife and threaten his children with a knife?
You can see the woman already. A woman with this kind of heart can stir a man up to do anything. I'm not siding the man. There's no reason. I believe that we talk with our mouth, not with our hands.
Right.
And as a man, if you feel you are that angry, just get out of the environment. And if it gets too much, you can just take a walk out. You understand me?
Yeah.
But a woman like this, with this kind of heart, could have intentionally set that man up to get this man to this point.
Do you think that her heart has become hardened because it threatened her children with a knife?
That's not the reason. Her heart. You see, remember that, for me, remember that this man once loved this woman. This man once took care of this woman. In fact, for them to get to the point they've gotten to, this man have gotten a lot of things right too. So the question is, what led to this day? What led to this day that will make a man carry knife to threaten the woman? What was the other threat that the woman also brought up that made him raise that knife? You see, because when it comes to husband and wife matters, I like to listen to both parties. In listening to the both parties, the only thing now is that she was the one that was quick to go and file a case in court and arrest the man. And probably the man doesn't have a good lawyer, because from what I'm saying here, it's
of course, don't you think she would have gone with some form of evidence for it to have gotten to this point?
Now, that's what I'm saying. You see, when somebody wants to set you up, because for the magistrate, the court, to ask her to forgive, it could also mean that they've looked at the matter, heard from the man's side, and they know that there's nothing here. But just that because the woman wanted to just deal with the man, came up with some overwhelming evidence, whether it was set up. Because one thing with the court is that the court doesn't move with emotions or sentiments.
Right.
It is a person that is able to prove his or her case in the court that wins. Whether the person is lying, as long as you're able to prove your lie, that your lie is true, you've won the matter. That's a law court for you. They work with evidence. They work with what is presented with them. Who is able to argue well? Who is able to convince the court that this is wrong or this is right? That's the court. That's the court for you. So I believe that this woman, have a good advisor, that a good lawyer that knows one or two things that will implicate the man and lock the man up, and then probably the woman stirred him, and then he fell into those things. You understand me?
What do you mean by stirred?
Okay, let me give you an example. I know of a story. This man has been wonderful. Just that this lady got into an affair. And the husband caught her. And the husband was like, why are you doing this to us? And decided to say, okay, I let go. But then the man was not like, because of this, if you want to move with this guy, you can go ahead. But decided to now strike off her name from certain things, that certain of his properties that he just put her as, heir to, because the man was no longer feeling safe around her, because he felt like, with you having a man in your life, tomorrow now you guys might think of killing me. So since you are the nest, if I die today, every of my thing goes to you because your name there, I'm not comfortable. The man removed her name from something, so the woman now started looking for a way to get this man out. He will come back, he will slap the man, he will abuse the man, and the man didn't know that this woman installed cameras. The idea was, let this man attack me. By the time, because she's one that installed cameras, it will be edited, her part to be removed. Only the part that the man is assaulting her that will show. But the beautiful thing about the whole thing is that the children saw everything. So one of those days, the man came back and was about to go out, and the woman said, you're not going out until you give me this and this and this. The man was like, but I've told you, by virtue of this, I can't trust you with this. The woman was like, you're not going anywhere. Before you know it, slapped the man, pushed the man, boo, 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 boo. The man, out of that anger, told her enough is enough. Brought out his belt. Immediately the man started beating her. She stopped fighting back and just started screaming. So the man at a point just said to leave. So she now went with the other man, sued, they arrested the man for abusing her violently. But the very good thing, the only thing that saved that man were the man's children. The man's children, the woman did everything for them not to testify, but the man's children spoke to one of their uncles and told their uncle that this is not the first time. In fact, as children, they told them how long their mother has been beating their father. That was the only time their father retaliated. So they now asked her, where is the video of the others? That these children cannot lie. That was now when the court now found out that this was just staged to pin this man down. So if those children were not there, you and I would have been blaming the man. She would have claimed that this is how this man had been beating me all the time. So because we know that because for a woman to walk in and say that the husband should still stay there, that the husband will be wicked, did that man just turn wicked overnight? Have you told them too how insultive you've been, how arrogant you've been? Now I believe that this is a two-way thing. It's a two-way thing.
But while the story you gave is really, is a rather touching story as regards the whole pinning and blaming. What happens to walking away when compatibility is lost?
That's why I said, when it gets to that point, that's the time to talk to your family about it. Talk to her family about it. If they are not getting you what you want, you belong to a church. You may be a Muslim. Talk to, you understand me, to the spiritual authorities. By the time you've talked to your biological authority, which is father, mother, and family members, and they're not getting anything done, talk to your spiritual authorities. And when they are not helping matters, and you're already looking at it that this thing is already about killing you, involve your lawyers. Let them write her, or let them write him. So you give yourself that level playing ground. The problem is that most times some men feel, how will I go and tell people now that my wife is beating me? They will laugh at me. And some women will be like, this marriage now, even if I go and, who will I leave my children for? No. An abuser is an abuser.
All right.
Whether man, whether woman. And the only way to deal with an abuser is expose the secret. Because if you check, every abuser will want to coerce you not to talk. The day you talk, I will kill you. The day you talk, that's it.
Right.
That's how you know an abuser. Because they are so scared of being caught, they put you under that same fear that they are under to make sure you don't discuss it. Sometimes they make you look stupid. Other people, how you as a man now, you won't go tell people, say your wife they beat you. Something wrong with you. See, no, talk about it. You see, that's the only way you can defeat an abuser. As long as you do what he or she wants.
But then,
they keep you there.
What role do you think, what role has society played in the blame gaming? The whole, are you the first person to be married? Why are you complaining? Do you think that we as a people have been open and receiving of people that are going through marital crisis?
The truth of the matter is, I tell people, marriage is not something people talk you into. Marriage is a decision you make to enter. That is why, too, when you get to that point where, well, it looks as if your life is threatened because you decided to come in, you can also decide to separate and save your head.
Thank you so much for your insight on that.